What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the trading world. Today is November 17th, 2025. It was a Monday. We're going to be taking a look at price action in detail. But also today, I want to give my updated opinion on Dodgy's indicator because, as you guys may or may not know, there's a new one. The old one was with 2 degrees, and the new one's with a new team called Taking Profits. And I'm going to be showing you guys what I think of it, and then after that, we'll get into price action for today. So, guys, I was waiting a little bit to really get a feel of how I actually liked it because I didn't want to jump into making this video, but I've been trying out the Dodgy's indicator for about a week, and I can genuinely say that I actually think it's way better. The key is you have to have the settings, and I'll show you guys what settings to have, but it's going to be, there's a lot less false signals. That is one thing I really like. Now Jan was telling me that you can actually use these exact settings and basically take every setup. So I'm going to go through these settings and so you can copy them. But you can go through these settings and you can take all the setups and you should be good to go if you just take every setup. Now, then again, I will say that I think it's always better to use your own intuition and understanding of trading to decide whether it's worth it for you. But you can see it's catching consistent wins, right? Boom, up to those highs. Boom, down to those lows. Caught this one. Now, once again, if it's consolidating, use your understanding of price action to say there's going to be not so obvious price action. But there's going to be a lot more wins than there used to be in the old one. And that's just my honest thoughts from what I've seen. So I'll go through time frame by time frame from today. I'm going to wait for it to load. So you'll see this one fill, but once again, you have to understand the context and the draw on liquidity. This one, a little bit more obvious because we have low resistance highs. I like this. So this alert, I think this would be a good one, right? Then I think the 3-minute had a few good ones. Look at this one. 3-minute inverses to the downside. We run all the way lower. Why is this one nice? Because we're delivering from a gap, and yeah. And then this is basically just a giant void. Then we get another one there. But yeah, in general, from what I've seen, it's going to alert more. It's going to alert some. It's going to be more consistent. It's still not going to be perfect. And that's where you do have to use your understanding of the market to know whether a trade's going to be good. But there's going to be some really nice setups that are going to occur that you're going to be able to catch because of this indicator. So with that, guys, I thought I'd give my review on it. And yeah, I'm liking it way better. That's the one thing that I am saying. And plus, when I'm out during the day, it's helpful if I want to maybe take an after hours trade, right? So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and review price action for the day. There's a lot of interesting stuff from today. I'm going to be reviewing trades on Twitter as well. Once again, this was another one that the indicator caught. You can see how it's catching a lot more quality trades, right? Boom, boom, indicated, boom, boom, boom. So once again, you got to use your own discretion, right? If you don't like it, you can pass up on it, right? Something like this, the instant V shape, that's going to be nice, right? So, let's see. First things first, I kind of want to talk about the trade TGR tip today and why he had his biggest trade of all time and why I actually really thought that it was actually a pretty good trade, in all honesty. It was essentially the trade I was looking for. I took it a little premature. I'm gonna go into why, and I shouldn't have, but it's hard, and I'm just trying to get better as a trader. But I think the trade he took was amazing. Essentially, what happened is right at market open, guys. Actually, first things first, before we get into TGR's trade, I want to show you how you could have caught a trade at market open. You can take this highest up close candle, drag it over. This is on the 5 minute, right? This is a 5 minute breaker. We push down into it. We sweep out the lows. And then on the low time frame here, I love these market open type of trades where on market open, we get amazing candle closure. Like, these are the kind of trades that are just stupid easy that I'm taking every single time, where market opens, we get 30-second change in state off of a 5 minute key level. What is this, guys? Flow state, right? Change state delivery, close off a 5 minute key level. But once again, it's all about understanding, like, when the market gets this obvious change in state, it's very obvious that we're going to go run through all these low resistance highs, right? So this is a giant stop run. The cool thing about this is there's no drawdown at all. Look at this, right? No drawdown at all. I can actually pull up the image of this. But, yeah, that was really nice. So, here it is. I literally said that I was maybe gonna look for something like this right at market open, and the reason I didn't is because I was actually still looking for shorts, and so I should have been more anticipating a Judas swing, and I could have maybe caught this as a Judas swing, right? But you can see how obvious this is. Sweep, change in state, align time frame from the 5 minute breaker, and then bang, we go run all those low resistance highs. So once again, a breaker is a highest up close candle of the move down before the move up. So it's this candle right here. This is a breaker. But that's not really the important part. The important part is that there was all these low resistance highs, and then we got an obvious change of state after market open, and it's just a very simple entry, right? Very clear that we're gonna go run through all that, and you can see there was no drawdown. Next, we'll go over the trade TGR took, and we might go into detail on the trades that I took today as well. But I actually really like the trade TGR took today because one, I was bearish, right? I was looking for a continuation lower. So you might actually, first, before we get into TGR's trade, sorry, we keep going on little side quests here. But the reason that I really liked, the reason I was looking for shorts is, check this out, actually. This is going to be really cool. So we have this new week opening gap here. So this is the gap between the close and the open of a new week. So the market is going to interact with this. And you can see how precisely it actually interacts with it, right? So one thing you can do that I've observed from my back testing is you can take a change in state of delivery retest or closure off of a new week opening gap. So for instance, this right here, this is a change in state of delivery. Bang. So you see how we retest that, and then we go lower, and then where do we go? Perfectly 4 projections. We go 2 projections, we come get more orders filled at the change in state one more time, and then we go 4 projections. Perfectly. So anytime we have a change in state delivery retest off a new week opening gap or a new day opening gap, I call that I just had to make a name for it, so I call this the shadow model. And yeah, it's just basically anytime you get a change of state delivery close or retest off a new day opening gap or new week opening gap. And once again, as I've said in prior videos, I align the change of state based off of the context, because the issue is some of them are going to be bigger than others. So it's just kind of based off of what aligned time frame change of state makes sense given the context. And then we tap it. We go 4 projections. And another reason this was nice is we had a time-based SMT with this high, previous week's high SMT. If you don't know, SMT with like a previous week's high or a previous day's high, it's going to be higher probability SMT. Okay, now let's review TGR's trade. So the reason TGR's trade was so nice is, one, I was higher time frame bearish because of that sell model, right? And right at market open, I was thinking, okay, we could probably get a, what is this? Judas swing, right? It's a fake out move. And you can see the fake out move perfectly pushes into this 5-minute change of state of delivery, souping these equal highs. And the cool thing about this is this actually came with an SMT. So check this out. We have, where is it? Oh yeah. So we have this market maker sell model. We have previous week's high SMT. By the way, guys, look at how we perfectly manipulate the true month open here. And this is the exact high. It's also above the true day open, so midnight. So midnight was right here, and then 1:30 is here. So we manipulate the true day open and the true session open. We manipulate all the true opens, and that's the top of the market maker sell model. So guys, true opens are very powerful. Then, right, we come up, we get this Judas swing into that 15-minute change, or that 1 hour change in state, souping equal highs with SMT. You wouldn't necessarily have to ever stop that tight, but you could, because you're anticipating this to be a soup. You're anticipating this to be an inducement. So soup and inducement basically means just buy above or sell above old highs, and you're expecting a reaction off of it. And so you could do this with actually a somewhat tight stop, because sometimes when you're taking a soup like this, you're basically saying it's either going to react right here or it's not. It's either going to or it's not. And so if it's not, I just want to be wrong as soon as possible. That's kind of the logic there. And you can see that's what happened. So the trade TGR took, and I actually really liked it. And it's the same trade that Max took on Twitter, so I'll go over that as well. But we had SMT with this high, and then once again we were anticipating a Judas swing. We were bearish on the higher time frame, and then we get this 5-minute inversion, which is also like a 3-minute inversion, which is also a 2-minute inversion, which is also a 1-minute inversion. And so let me show you guys this trade from TGR's perspective. Here's the trade TGR took.
Be willing to short.
So he's looking for shorts all through here.
That's kind of NASDAQ
and then
leading,
and then he's showing how this is the gap in specific that he's looking at, I think. Right, this one. Once that gets inversed, he goes short because the bias, or I guess he was using this whole entire range. Once this gets inversed, he goes short. Now it's not so clear on the 1 minute, which is the chart he's looking at, but on the 5 minute, it's very, very clear. On the 5 minute, it's very, very clear that this old fair value gap, the gap between this wick of the candle prior and this wick of the candle after, gets closed through by this bearish candle. It's very, very obvious. So on the 1 minute, you're just kind of merging those candles together, which I'm guessing is what TGR did. But on the 5 minute, it's very, very clear and undeniable that this is an inversion for value gap. And the Dodgy indicator actually did catch this. So I'm pretty sure. The Dodgy indicator did catch it. See? And then we went lower. And TGR held all through this, so I was kind of impressed, actually. He just followed his plan. And this is 6R, so that's crazy, right? Yeah. Now, what else was I going to look at? So yeah, that was his trade. You can see him take it, and then he holds all through here, and then we go lower. I think that was nice. Then, as I said before, we had an inversion here that the Dodgy indicator caught as well on the 2-minute. This was nice. We get this closure, and then we have this little chunk of consolidation here. This is going to be nice low resistance highs. Oh, and then also I forgot to shout out Max Trades. He took this exact same trade. So you can see it's not just one person taking this trade. It's like usually when it's a good trade, everyone's catching the same thing. So you can see Max caught this one. Boom, down to those lows. And let's see if I saved anything else. I guess not. And then anyway, low resistance highs here. This gets closed above here. Bang. Dodgy indicator alerts that. We go up from there. Whoops. So that was another one that was really nice. Once again, these are low resistance. Why are these low resistance? Because you can see the highs are lower highs. And now we've swept out the low. And we've got an inversion. And it's the opposite side of the curve now. Now sometimes it's not going to be the opposite side of the curve. Sometimes it's going to stay high resistant. But in this case, you can see it's about displacement and momentum. You can see there's obvious displacement here that we're going to go run those low resistance highs, and then we do. So I like that one. I have that one saved in here somewhere. So right here. And I won't go too much further. Then we have a trade that ICT took. So ICT took a trade. He took an inversion to the downside, I'm pretty sure.
Just dabbling here today. Let's see how the inversion for everybody got.
So basically, when this gap gets closed below,
and we're looking at that.
I'll show you guys that.
Low.
So when this gap, so this was the gap he was talking about. When this, I'm merging these two candles together, by the way. But when this gap gets closed below here, you can tell it's very obvious that we're going to cut through all these lows and then deliver down even further. So this inversion, it's very clear that we got accumulation, manipulation of the high, a closure below this old gap here. This one, not obvious yet. And maybe you could argue that it had been inverse, but to me, this is not obvious enough yet. I would enter on that specific candle when these two gaps inverse, stop above this inversion gap. Honestly, just you might be wondering, like, how do you know to put your stop loss there? Just put it like in a logical spot. Like in this case, I know it's not going to come back above that high, and then boom, we deliver down lower. This is two projections, so accumulation, SMT, manipulation. By the way, guys, what is this? SMT with a rejection block. So what is that? Phoenix model. So you could enter that as Phoenix. And one thing about Phoenix, by the way, guys, is you'll get an SMT with a rejection block. So there's two different kinds of Phoenix. There's going to be SMT with a rejection block, and that's already formed, and then we tap into it. And then there's going to be SMT with the rejection block, and it's going to be as it's forming that we tap into it. So this one's, you can see this SMT is already formed. So basically what I'm saying is there's going to be two different types of Phoenix models. So I'm going to call them type A and type B. So if I ever talk about that in future videos, you'll know. But I'm going to make a short form video about that eventually. And yeah. I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I do want to get more consistent with these. I want to keep going, keep being more and more consistent. And yeah, just one day at a time, keep making these videos better for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.